Hi everyone, this is Xavier, and today we're reviewing the 28 Laws of Attraction from Thomas Leonard. This book used to be titled The Portable Coach, and as the title mentions, it is really written from a coaching perspective, and maybe that's also why this book has had such a tremendous effect on me. As you know, I'm very big on personal development and understanding myself, and before reading this book I had gone through hundreds of tests and personality tests and personal development tests and trying to understand myself better, but going through that book at the time changed my perspective 180 degrees. And it is a very easy to understand book. It's very easy to go through, lots of exercises, and I had, for the longest time, I had a very strict policy of not writing on books, and well, I started on that book. I think that's the only one I wrote actually ever in my life. The exercises that are in it are really compelling me to really go through it and do it on the spot, not write down on the side and taking notes, not really going through it and really going with it. So in this book, 28 laws, 28 steps, 28 points of focus actually to understand yourself better. The first step is very, very interesting. It starts with become incredibly selfish. Now this has had a very interesting effect on me because for the longest time I used to be a people pleaser. I used to put myself second, if not third, after the entire world really. So going through that, I really understood the power of being selfish. Now, obviously, being selfish is seen as being negative, but really trying to understand what it means to be selfish is very strong, very powerful. And that's where I tell people now, say, take ownership of your own life. How can you help others if you don't help yourself first? And in airplanes, I travel so much now, in airplanes, they even tell you, put a mask on yourself before attending to others. Why? Because you have to take care of yourself before helping others. A victim is not helping others. A person who's not in charge of their own life cannot attend properly to others' lives. So very, very powerful first step, first point. Tremendous respect on that. It really changed my mind. Another step, create a vacuum that pulls you forward. That is a very interesting point that I'm still referring to this day. Unconsciously, it had marked me, especially when I talk about goal setting, and goal setting is the first chapter of my book that I dedicated, because it is so important to know what you want of your life and where you want to go and what you want to achieve, who you want to be. But I hear so many people around talking about you need to work your butt off. Schwarzenegger, I was listening to that yesterday. You need to sweat, you need to have a go at everything, you need to flog your horse until you reach what you really want. And I understand the idea behind it, I understand the intention behind it, which is really to keep your goal with you and nurture it and really go for it. However, in the same breath, Schwarzenegger yesterday in a motivational speech that I've read, that I was listening to, says as well, you need to relax. Now, how can you be so action-oriented and so effortful and at the same time relax? So even he subconsciously knows that there is more to it than just working your butt off. And what Leonard mentioned in his book here, really creating that vacuum, is that having a goal that is not pushing you from behind, but attracting you, pulling you forward. And that's where I make the difference between motivation, which is forceful, it's external, and inspiration. And inspiration is what is coming from inside, is not self-imposed or pushed from behind. And the goal is created by that vacuum and creating you and pulling you towards. Very powerful one. A third one is obviously a very interesting one, a very useful one, is simplify everything. And in this world of talking a lot, of overload of information, of news, and news as well coming from the workplace or even in your life, and your friends who tell you what happened in their lives and who said what and who did what and who, all of that, simplify everything. Now, the very interesting point in this book is that actually Leonard is actually making some distinctions. So every chapter, the vocabulary that he's using, he's explaining why he's using this word and not the other one. For example, here, he says simplify versus eradicate. And that is a very important distinction to make. Because obviously you heard about to-do lists and you had as well a not to-do list, right? And then going through that process of eradicating your to-do list or simplifying your to-do list makes a dramatic difference in the outcome. A final one that I want to leave you with is actually a point that we use a lot in NLP, and that is actually making the difference between your needs and your wants. And what I've realized going through this book is that I was a needy person. I need to please others. I need others to please me. I need people to give me a pat on the shoulder. I need people to affirm me. I needed people to recognize me. And what Leonard talks about is really getting over with your needs, right? And the point here is that there's a big difference between what you need and you just become so dependent on your needs and what you want. And what you want are your goals and your outcomes and your dreams. I leave you to that with that question. So what are you needy of? Stay centered.